Now, last Christmas I was given a book as a present, and the thing that you'll have noticed about books is that the first page is always really important. It sets the scene and tries to draw you into the story with something really exciting. Now, if you've been given one of our International Café goodie bags, you'll have this magazine, which has in it one of the books of the Bible. It has John's account of Jesus' life and work. And just like any book, the first page is really important. It starts with an exciting promise. John chapter 1 verse 9. The true light that gives light to everything was coming into the world. Now, it's a dark time of year, isn't it? December the 21st, the longest night, 16 hours and 11 minutes of darkness. We've got to go to work in the dark. We've got to come back from work in the dark. And one of the things that we do to try and bring a bit of light to our life at the moment is putting up lights either inside or outside of our house. There's some brilliant examples of those in my area at the moment. But it's also a time of year where, as Christians and as a church, we celebrate the coming of Jesus into the world, the birth of Jesus, which John describes as like a light being switched on in a dark place. The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. But what does it mean by light? What does it mean by giving light to everyone? Now, if you were to read on in this book, Jesus would explain what he means by light. He says, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." When he's talking about light, he's talking about life. Sadly, our world is full of darkness, just as our world is full of death. Lots of people might have had to say goodbye to loved ones this last year, and that's been tragic. But Jesus promises to deal with that problem. He promises to give us eternal life with him beyond the grave. He even raises up his friend Lazarus from the dead, calling him out from the tomb to show that he can do that. You can read all about that in John chapter 11. You'll find that on page 64 in the magazine. And he's given this light to everyone in the sense that the offer is open to anyone. He goes on in verse 12 to say that the offer of life is open to anyone who wants it, anyone who will receive Jesus by trusting in him, by believing in his name. He describes that as like being born again, as starting life all over. Now, no matter what you think about that, that is a striking start to a book, isn't it? Jesus came into the world as a light that destroys darkness, that destroys death, and you can have that life if you believe and if you trust in him. And the call of John is to read on and find out more about this man Jesus. This is the most important book that you will ever read. It's not one to be left on the shelf over Christmas. If you'd like to read it with someone, why not get in touch with someone from International Café? I'm sure they'd love to read it and discuss it together. If you'd like to explore more of these issues, we're going to start a course in January the 4th until the 25th, running on Monday evening, 7:30. Hopefully in person, if not then on Zoom if we're in lockdown. But that'll be a great place to bring your questions and explore more about Jesus. I'm going to play a trailer for that in just a second, but all that's left for me to say is to wish you a very Merry Christmas on behalf of everyone at Parr Street Church and everyone at International Café.